Hello all, hope you all are doing good. So today we'll be talking about again a question from the community, which is when I do send to Excel, the and let me exactly read it if I have access to the question. Let me see, then we'll deal with it. So it's a pretty old problem. We all have faced it in NAB on Business Central, and the question goes like this: there's one base report. In the report, when we click on send to Excel on request page, Excel will generate, but in the but the problem is the data coming from Excel is not properly formatted. Means some columns are merged. How I can give proper Excel format? Is there an alternate solution for this in Business Central? Now, as I was saying, it's a pretty known issue even from the NAV word till now. But while I was reading it, I thought about a solution that's available in the base Microsoft. So let's first understand the problem and then we'll talk about the solution. So the report in question is the account receivable. So let's get into Business Central without further talking about it and search for that report, which is, and I'm drawing blank on it, is account receivable. When we run it, now this is a North American version of Business Central. So that's why you see a print to Excel option there. Now remember when you see this option, there is code written for this in the report, which allows you to do a print to Excel. But then this report is not available for all the localized versions of Business Central. And I'm pretty sure the person who asked this question is not from the North America, is not using North America or US localizations at this moment. So first, let's search and go to a new page if you don't know it. In the previous version of Business Central, Microsoft added this page called report layout. And let's search for report name is account receivable. Okay, let me copy the whole name. I guess that should do the magic. Okay, am I writing it wrong? I don't think so. Let me search it again. Copying everything. Okay, but there is a report 120 accounts. Okay, here it is. So we filter for this, and then because I'm on North American localization or US localization, I see another report which you just saw. But for rest of the world and for all the countries, if I'm not wrong, report 120 is there, and that's the report in question, I guess. So let's then filter out for 120. So this is the report that we're talking about. Now let's run the report and see what happens when we do a send to Excel. Now there are two options. If there is confusion about it, let me know. We'll talk about it in a separate video. But when you do Microsoft Excel document data and layout, it'll give you the output in Excel as well as some data uh, source that's coming from the data will also come into Excel. Now, if you look at it, this is the report that looks like. Now, if you pay attention to this, there are some rows which are overlapping and are small in size. Same here, there are some rows which are small in size and so on and so forth. And same here, if you look at it, there are some columns which are kind of shortened out, which if you want to use this report effectively as an Excel output will cause problems to you. So that's the problem statement. And same goes for the rows, because these rows are kind of hidden, smaller in size, they kind of cause problems when you're doing this. So first let's understand from where this comes from and why it is this way. So what we'll do is we'll do an export layout. Using this option, you can just open the RDLC file of that report that is in question or that you're trying to work on. This is the report layout file that you'll get. especially for this report. If you're using or working or trying to solve this problem on another report, you'll get a different output. Now, when you're building report and when you choose to download it to Excel or Word or any other option that's available in that send to option, it kind of mimics what's defined here. You get this table as it is because there is a table defined here. Wherever you're seeing the hidden column, row, or sorry, column in this case, that was that column because that was marked small in this layout. In the same way, when you're getting those smaller rows like this fourth row or this first row, that's causing because of the space that's there between these controls. So that's the problem statement, and that will remain as it is. Let's be very frank. Microsoft cannot do it. It's based on the layout. As the layout is built, the same layout will dump down into Excel as it is. But with Business Center, there is a way that you can fix it for your analysis if needed. So let's come to that. So if I'm not wrong, and I'm making this assumption right now, anybody who would like to analyze this data will be looking at this data. He or she will not be considered about what this information is. So why should I be bothered about it? Let's do this. Let me close this and then come to this downloaded layout that I have and remove the headers because I don't need it. Let's put it this way. Then let's click on the empty area and hide or remove the page header if you don't have a dependency on the body. Now that varies from report to report. In this report, there is no dependency of the header on the body, where it is kind of linking. If there is one, you'll have to at least keep that field somehow into the report. And if there is another report that you're facing this challenge, let me know. We'll talk about it. So we'll do a remove page header. I also don't like this footer part, which is showing this, which is something. So I'll remove this because I don't need it in my calculation. I'll keep the size smaller. If this column is troubling me, I'll also delete this and make sure that there is no empty space like you see here. So make sure it fits it. Now this report is saved. I'll save it. And this is what we'll get, which is a plain formatted table that I need. If this causes a problem, because in your analysis, just remove this, but I'll keep it right now. Let's save this. It's saved on my downloads. And let's go back to Business Central. And here, what I'll do is I'll do a new layout. When I do a new layout, I'll say this is my sort of demo layout. This layout is used for demo. And we'll choose the RDLC option here. If you want to talk about Excel, let me know. We'll talk about it someday, but I would like to use the RDLC. Click OK. It'll ask you to choose a file. I'll go ahead and choose that file, which I just modified, and it'll upload that into the system like this. Now, if this report is mapped in your database somewhere, you'll be able to run this. And I'm just for the demo, I'm using run from here. But while you are doing your analysis, when you want to dump this data into Excel the way the user wants it, you can always click on this button and choose your custom layout from the runtime. I'll choose OK. I'll keep rest of the options same, do a send to Excel data and layout, and click OK. When I open this, what I'll get is a non-merged or non-shrinked columns or rows and will be able to use it. Now you are seeing some of it still here because of the way I have changed my layout. So you can just get what data you want based on the modifying the format of the layout file that you have without disturbing any other user. Because by default, the system will run this layout until unless you come to this and say this is my default for this company. It'll always try to run whatever is set as default. So you can create your own custom layout for your analysis purposes, whatever you need, wherever you see that there is a overlap that's happening for whatever region, you can eliminate that. It's all up to you. And that data can be accessed while running the report. That right now, I want this layout to be run, not that particular layout. So you can just switch that layout from here and just do a send to Excel, and that will bring you the layout that you want. So it's not a direct solution, but at the same time, it doesn't require you a help from a developer or a partner to do it. As in, there are ways to do print to Excel, which will give you a nicely formatted report, but that means it will require some development skills. It'll require you to understand how Excel buffer and works, and it'll require you to understand the mappings in Business Central to make the report effectively. So I hope the person who asked this question uh, understand how he or she can do it, and this solves his or her problem. If you have a problem like this, or any problem that you think I can help you with, just drop me an email, and I'll be happy to help you on that. This is Saurabh Dhyani signing off. Do like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you with other problem whenever I hear about it. Thank you, and have a nice day.